It's time. Time to watch this grand finals. CPT Singapore event. Now we're going to get into this grand finals, which is Big Nephew from North America and Shuto from Japan. We got Jury versus Akuma. It's going to be a very interesting set, if I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm going to do my best to give you guys as in-depth analysis as I can in this this grand final. So we're going to get into it and see what we can learn and push forward in learning more about Street Fighter 6. Let's get right to it. Let's get it.
We have Shuto all the way from Japan, and then we have Team Liquid's Nephew all the way from the USA, and I'm here with Jammers all the way. No,
I didn't pay anyone.
2 in the chat.
I promise I didn't
2
pay
in the
anyone.
chat, please.
Anyway, grand finals here. Let me hear it, people in the crowd. Grand finals here at Super Premier Singapore. One of these guys.
Okay, so a big thing already in the matchup. Jury's gonna have to deal with that walk speed. You know, Kuma's the fastest walk speed character in the entire game.
Oh my gosh.
What a
Nephew
reversal.
starting off. First knockdown, wake up OD reversal. Okay. Setting the
Okay,
pace
good
for
combo.
defense.
Listen, defense goes a long way. It's hard work. And again, some of the things that
All right. First thing I want to isolate right here was this, right? So in this situation here, kind of a smart move here from Nephew. He does crouching medium punch into the look like the light leg raise. I'm pretty sure if he did the medium one, he definitely would have gotten the full combo, but he probably wasn't sure about the distance, or wasn't really assuming that, you know, he would have got that much pushback. So what happens afterwards is pretty smart. He also go for a perfect parry here in this situation, which it only makes sense, right? Because right here in this position, it would make sense for you to try to take your turn back, and Akuma's going to hit one of his best buttons, which is obviously crouching medium punch. You know, he could have also went for crouching medium kick here as well, but this move, I believe his crouching medium punch is like, what, 5 or 6 frames, somewhere in that ballpark, if I recall right. Sorry, frame data escapes me right now, but it makes perfect sense. It's the fastest thing he could do, especially if, like, you know, after the leg raise, maybe Nephew was to stick out another button. You know, he already whipped the whole special move, so at that point, he swings, he's gonna pop him. Pretty straightforward. I mean, you guys end up doing this in your matches low key sometimes, like, without thinking. Definitely a good way to kind of like double check yourself and make sure you're doing the right stuff. Like, if you miss, then it only makes sense that they might try to take their turn back. So
Hard work and diligence is its own reward. And again, some of the things that make Nephew so great, the perfect parries, the wake up 10-cent rins, they've been working out in space.
I mean, and when you're in, oh my gosh, the walk forward on that.
Ah.
Walk forward throw is able
another thing to point out here.
to connect for Shuto.
This is one of the fewer things that's really difficult for
They've been working out.
the majority of the cast to do, especially against Akuma, is like doing things like trying to walk away from Akuma in terms of like setting up offense is really difficult because he's the fastest character in the game, right? He can just walk at you. So just for the sake of, so we could look at it one more time, right? Just from that situation.
And again,
Able to connect for Shuto.
Let me see here. Should be somewhere like here. Like right here, right?
working out in space.
Yeah, so he does a stand jab here. I'm gonna bring it back down to like 5 seconds for a sec, and then you watch what happens. He tries to walk away. You're not gonna be able to walk away from him. Then to make matters worse, right? This isn't necessarily bad. Like, what Nephew did wasn't necessarily bad or anything of that nature. Like, he was trying to set up a shimmy. Once again, that's one of, like, if I had to put like stats and traits, like, Nephew definitely has high stats in shimmy. Shimmynomics, you know. That's definitely one of the skills he definitely has high up on his list. So it would make sense for him to do this. 2 things could happen, right? Obviously, he got thrown here. Also, from walking back, now there's 2 things that can happen here. Clearly, we got to throw. There's also crouching medium kick to try to catch Nephew from walking back away from the shimmy attempt. Even though his crouching medium kick is stubby, it's still going to be able to catch. And if he can't catch you just by doing it normally, Shuto could always walk forward and then do the crouching medium kick. Of course, just for the record, it opens up more doors for Nephew to try to fuzzy walk. Fuzzy walk meaning walking crouch guard. You know, not necessarily just duck, but actually crouch and guard. You guys see it a lot. Players walk forward, duck, duck. They're basically fuzzy walking to protect their feet and or protect themselves in general from like oncoming moves. Obviously, if you're down back, you're beating mid attacks and you're beating low attacks at the same time. So swinging back to where we are here is very difficult for Nephew in this point to kind of move backwards. So it makes sense for Shuto to try to throw him or to utilize that option first and foremost. All right, let's get back to it.
Oh my gosh, the walk forward on that. Walk forward throw is able to connect for Shuto.
And see, even Sherry mentions it.
With the perfect parries back to back. No driver's cancels after it though, but
yep, good challenge.
There's not enough blocks done, so you're not really going to get a true block string after that.
delayed strong there.
God of the fadeaway. It's fadeaway god.
Oh my gosh. You don't even need to spend the super, which is going to end it with the target combo.
Good stuff here. Now, this
It's
is
really good ender there from Shuto.
because these two need the mental resources to come back, revitalize their energy.
And that's
Yeah, another fake. You know, using the adamant flame from further out like that to bait people into throws. It's definitely a move I think more people should try to utilize just in neutral in general. Akuma's adamant flame, whether it's Rekka or it's rush punch, whatever you want to call it. Because look, even though Nephew whiffed he still had enough time. He whiffed a parry, and look, there was still enough time for a punish counter, right? There's still enough time for that. Let me move myself out the way so y'all can see that. Boom. There's still enough time for the punish counter. Still enough time. And again, that's because Akuma has the fastest walk speed, right? So we can take advantage of anything that's super small. Like this guy can take advantage of it because of how fast he is. So definitely, if you play Akuma, learn how to use adamant flame in neutral. Obviously, learn how to space it. It's not something you just throw out willy-nilly. Obviously, you throw it out, you probably will die if you use it incorrectly. So try to find places to place it in your game.
Revitalize their energy.
and Nephew reacted, tried to perfect parry that, but unfortunately it whiffed. And fortunately for Shuto, he's able to get a punish counter throw, just put Nephew into the corner.
Yes, he's still not teching. He'll always find a way to escape and turn
This makes sense.
in his favor with that pendulum swing of that super art 3.
So from a decision standpoint, this made sense for Nephew because one, already, and I know this is a lot, but Shuto already has 1 round up, right? That's already an issue in itself. Nephew has a lot of meter on his side, right? And then move this out the way. There's a lot of meter on his side, and this is good for Nephew here based on Shuto's drive gauge. And even more so, you also have the HP differentials. Even though like Shuto's is not how to put this, Shuto and his HP is like here. Nephew has just a little bit more, so Nephew has a bit of a life lead now. Nothing too crazy, but it made sense to it made sense to spend this, honestly. Someone be like, well, Nephew spent a little too quick. Well, he kind of has to. So, excuse me, because he could play for another hit and maybe drive rush cancel and try to do more damage, but like, it's better to just kind of get the damage quick and then focus on the rest of the game from here.
What's he going to do to break away? He's going to block.
Low on drive gauge, but okay, let's check. What a delayed throw coming from the drive rush there.
He can still win this round. There's a counter hit. And he's going to go into Raging Demon, and it's not going to kill because he's not going to talk. You only know it's going to kill when he does the whole discussion with himself.
Okay, well,
He can actually
Okay, this is kind of scary right now.
watch out with the reversal. Oh, okay.
Caught Nephew trying to backdash.
Incredibly fast OD fireball.
All right, first game goes to Shuto.
He had to commit to the reversal if he wanted to save himself in that situation. He made it.
Definitely curious what the adjustments are going to be here with Nephew moving forward.
In this grand final. Oh, wait, hang on. This is Street.
Every single time he busts
Oh,
out the
can't skip
phone,
too far ahead.
magic starts happening over there. I don't know what kind of birthday wishes he has on the phone. It's just Punk saying, hey, happy birthday, Neff. You got this.
Are you telling me this is Street Fighter wizardry at its finest?
I believe it. Something's been working, Nephew. He's been playing so well. Like,
Oh, we're gonna make it hurt.
every single of these reversals
Nice.
just like that.
Very good on Nephew to go for this so he can actually get the burnout. Done deal. He has heavy advantage now. This is perfect for him. Yep.
Oh my
That's it.
God, the sequence here. Nice and easy.
That's it. Yep. Perfect. Really smart on Nephew to go for the early burnout in the combo.
Something in those notes on his phone.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it might be the screensaver. I'm not sure. Maybe it
Oh man, Akuma standing jab.
earlier, but Shuto
Such a good button.
down without a fight, but he's going to have to take this level 1 to the face.
Well, the success on Nephew's weight because it's incredible. And a nice check on the dry rush overhead.
Oh, ODDP, we're not dealing with that.
Okay, Nephew special, punishing the throw with the instant jump medium punch and perfect parry come from Shuto's end.
Alright, there's a forward throw there.
Dry rush forward throw, fireball.
Let some dry gauge.
There's a perfect parries and was able to
Kuma
check the
stand jab.
Oh my
And
god, there's a
I'm telling you, this entire tournament, Shuto's usage of stand light kick was insane. That button punishes so many things and has a lot of range. It's like the equivalent to Ken standing light kick or even Kami.
We are going to go down to last round. Something that actually happened earlier when Nephew did try to parry. I don't know.
Throw tech.
Oh,
That was really smart. Yes. Shuto's hit confirmability from the stand light kick was pretty insane.
these are some plus frames, cancels.
Nice. Okay. Burnout. Has to do it again. That's it. All right. Nephew up on the board. Let's go. Let's go, NA. Boom. Both good players, by the way. Both great players.
He needs to be very careful because every win Nephew gets, this is going to be long.
Yep, he gets more and more comfortable in the matchup too. It's just, adapting basically. We are seeing lifetime adaptation.
Better the movement from Nephew. So we can definitely talk about this.
More and more.
A lot of people would see this and be like, "Oh, I don't understand. Why is Shuto bouncing around and moving around like this?" Thing is, based on Nephew's movement, because movement is important in this game too, right? He baited Nephew to move in. So Nephew just, at this point can't really, I won't say he cannot, but based on what's happening, can't get a good read on what Shuto wants to do. There's a whiff jab. So, and again, walking in, walking back, there's a stand heavy punch. Okay. So this is already information right here. This right here, this is all information for Shuto. Right? 100%. Right? He gets the info. So if we leave this up here, right? Because now he got the info, then we can take this off and we know that he got info now, right? Play it back. Now watch the movement again. He's looking for the fierce. And what was the button he pressed? The fierce punch. Or heavy punch. So let me get back into this spot. Hold on. You'll see it. Because you'll recognize the startup frames. Right? So we recognize it there. There it is. And then let's slow it down a little bit more just so we can see the startup. There it is. That's the one. And then he gets punished for it. And party time. Full on confirm. Into the corner carry. And you already know what time it is. And it's not it's nothing but information being given there. So we just use that against him. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too wild. Pretty standard stuff in fighting games. Standard stuff in Street Fighter. But now on the flip side, that's also information for Nephew in terms of how close he needs to move to use that normal. The difference between this time and the last time was that Shuto walked in more. Nephew's trying to space that normal. He's not trying to be right up on him, right? So Shuto kind of mirrored his movements and then said, "Okay, I'm gonna move up closer to you, and now I'm gonna throw out the low medium punch." See what I'm saying? Makes all the difference. One aside there before I get ready for it. Appreciate that, big dog.
Kuma flavor source this weekend. So I'm pretty sure everybody's comfortable and very vigilant towards how dangerous this character can be. And there's a whip punish there from the forward fist.
Aha. There it is. I feel you. This. Yeah, man. So like, information. It's all information. Appreciate you, Dom. Appreciate you. It's all about the info.
Did it work out this time? And the chase.
And yeah, can't neutral jump it.
And sometimes the people with the sharpest reactions and how astute they are, it can be used against you, and that's exactly what happened there. A teleport trap is what we call it.
The overhead finally connects this time, and we're going straight into the level 1.
Okay, level 1 YouTube smart here. Get him to the corner. All right, throw time. Yep.
Yeah, see, he tried to see if he was going to do the tap parry and see if he could take advantage of that. And there's the tap parry.
The tap parry on that was insane.
Yeah, see, he tried to see if he was going to do the tap parry and see if he could take advantage of that.
He parried that fireball clean. Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? Getting used to perfect parrying fireballs is very important, which has been a thing since season 1, obviously, but like knowing the situation and things of that nature, like, all right, if I perfect parry here, I can most likely sneak in something here to try to like turn the tide, because you're not blocking it in full block stun, right? Now you're blocking, you parried it, like you've pretty much cleared the block stun. So now your frame advantage is now different, right? As opposed if you blocked it.
And there's a tap parry on the projectile. And then he catches him holding up, but the fireball didn't tip him in time, because I think he was jumping forward, not up.
Oh, trade pop, no.
There it is. Stand light kick.
Level 3's here.
Got level 3 here.
With the critical art, this is enough to take it.
No, it's not.
No?
I think that's that. I think that's it.
Okay.
Oh, you gonna hold this Masogi?
I was kind of worried because I thought he should have gone into Raging Demon instead, because it does a little bit more damage. But he was
All right, Nephew's making good adjustments. It's just the range Shuto's playing at. Like Shuto's like letting Nephew kind of like, I won't say hang himself, but he's playing into like the ranges.
So dominate from each
You see what I'm saying?
We're not seeing too much back and forth.
Oh, but you don't want this to
And I'd also mention that Shuto's also measuring his risk reward a lot more
No,
each like within each game.
I want some more high-level Street Fighter play.
That's it. Let's go, Neff. Boom, dead. Nice.
Both last 2 games, each first round has been perfect, and that kind of set the tone for the match too. So that means
All right, I got you, B-Fry.
technically it's
I'll do more.
win this game and
They're coming.
see what happens.
Throw. Okay, cool. We're in there. Fireball to hold the space. Now, here's something to also note about Akuma's fireball, right? Let's talk about it real quick. Akuma's fireball is really good for lots of reasons. Obviously, the first was, you know, the lack of a hurt box on his hands, right? So it makes it harder for you to like hit him. If you're fighting Ryu, Ken, and the other cast members, you can actually hit like the hands. But you're not trying to hit the hands. How do I put this? You're not trying to hit the hands because the fireball's out per se. You're trying to stuff it preemptively, right? You're not trying to like, you know the fireball's coming, so you want to hit it preemptively. Akuma, because his walk speed's so good, he can walk back and do it, which opens up more room for you to jump at him. But if he walks back, it's like, that's why you can't see them doing the fuzzy walk, right, with the crouches, because they could be buffering, they could be doing anything. But what's most important is how they maneuver the walk, right, going backwards, because they know they can just Jamiroquai virtual insanity, slide all the way back, you know, with their walk speed, but they like do the crouch, you know, the fuzzy walking, so that they slow down. So they give themselves more room to react because he's so fast. So they're like, okay, boom, boom. And they change their intervals. So that's why you'll see when Shuto's moving around, even Nephew does it too. It's not just Shuto, it's also Nephew as well. Nephew knows this too, right? So they're how do I put this? They're fighting for that positional advantage, but it can be scary with Akuma because when he takes an inch, it can turn into a mile, right? Because of how fast he is. So it forces you as the opposing character, no matter who you're playing as, you're going to take a bigger step backwards than he's going to take forward, which will eventually get you walked down, which is why you hear you'll constantly hear you get a player gets walked down. Or you heard me say on stream, I'll walk someone down. It's because you're utilizing your walk and obviously your normals as well to make them afraid to want to do something, because you can walk into their effective range and also walk out. But because Akuma can dip in and dip out so freely, you know, when you contest them, you have to be good at it, or you have to read their movements like right, or you need to make a very, very safe guess. And when I say a safe guess, it could be like a fireball, or maybe like a low committal normal, like a crouch medium punch. But if he's on point and they know how to whiff punish, they might hit that stand fierce and like pop you. You know, they might boom and try to clock you and then be like, dang, it's a shame you try to whiff. You know, you try to throw a button out to try to stop me from moving. That's what makes fighting Akuma so scary, right? And that leads me back to his fireball, right? Like a lot of times they use fireball to, it's obviously a poke, but it's a poke for multiple reasons, right? I'll try to highlight these here, right? So fireball is like fireball purposes, right? It would be like obviously attack drive gauge. You're attacking the drive gauge, that's one, right? Because before they go into burnout, that's the biggest thing, obviously, right? And then another thing, you can create frame advantage. You can create frame advantage because of you can create frame advantage due to the spacing, right? Or if it's EX, right? So, and let me move myself out of the way. So this can make more sense. I'll move this right here. Boom. All right, yeah. So you can use it that way. You can also use it for like other reasons, right? Obviously, attack, drive, gauge, and poke. I should put slash poke, right? Slash poke. I cannot type poke, which is good for you, obviously. And then create frame advantage with OD versions, because like OD fireball equals +2, right? That shit's +2 on block. So you can create some really jacked up scenarios based on that, especially in the corner. You can also use it to like create DP. So I'll just shorten it, fireball into DP scenarios. It's very common, right? Fireball in the DP, right? That's classic Street Fighter 2. You throw a fireball, they jump, you DP, or you anti-air of some kind. And obviously another one is, you know, chip damage, obviously. But one factor that's very important for him in particular pushing your opponent backwards. That's probably, in my opinion, one of the most important things. Because you're pushing them backwards, it makes them hard. It makes it harder for them to advance. Sure, they can perfect parry you, right? But like at the rate in which Akuma can chuck fireballs is on par with Guile. The heavy fireball, if I recall right, only has 12 frames of recovery. Guile's Sonic Boom has 10. I know because of playing Cammy in the beginning. And trying to use Hooligan against him. Guile in particular in this talk. So like the fact that basically he can punk you with the fireballs to make you move backwards, and then, right, I'm gonna leave these up here for a second, right? And let me explain. I'm gonna point to some other areas, right? I'm gonna use some arrows real quick, right? So in pushing the opponent backwards, right? This is what it ends up leading to, right? So you push the opponent backwards, right? Then you create the fireball DP scenarios, right? And then if they're in burnout, you do chip damage, right? Not only are you like doing damage to them, right? I'm gonna get a line here. You're doing this. Then you're also poking at their drive gauge. See what I'm saying? And then if I wanted to, which I will, right? Then I'll add another line here. Create more offensive opportunities, right? So you create more offensive opportunities, and I'm gonna put this up here just for a reason, and that reason being is the +2. Especially like, and this is specifically up close, right? If you're right up on them and you do like EX fireball or OD fireball, sorry, I say EX because old Street Fighter, but OD fireball is gonna be +2 always. So you can set up some nasty stuff with that. Yeah, it may cost you 2 meters, but I mean it should cost something, right? And then I'll also add another addendum to this, which is why his fireball is insane. You can charge up the fireball for extra hits. And then guess what? Addendum. Variable release timings. Right? What does this lead to? Your opponent jumping poorly or guessing wrong on the fireball. That's why you don't really see Nephew jumping as much, because he knows the recovery on the fireball is too much, or it's too good. So he's just walking and trying to perfect parry. It's better to do that. And you can it's not that you can't guess jump, right? It's not that you can't take a chance and guess jump, right? That's not the case. You can. But the reality is, do you want to do that on a continuous basis? Especially with how much damage he can do to you off of anti-air. Like, one ODDP is like 2k worth damage, give or take. That's a lot of damage to take on a jump. And that's if he wants to do that. If he doesn't, then he can always... The thing is, you jump at him, he gets a jump, medium punch, air-to-air, fireball, into shenanigans, into corner, and it's like... All of this ends up leading you into the corner. Yep, that's just it. The variable release timings is what can throw you off. You think that they're gonna do like a normal one, and they're gonna like charge it, and like, all right, cool, we're gonna full charge, and they don't, and you're like, damn, they didn't full charge, and then you wasted your drive gauge on your last sliver, and then you go into burnout, and then what does Akuma say? It's party time, bruh. That's GG. That character's gonna abuse any character in Burnout. Akuma's just gonna abuse them, and that's anyone in this game, obviously. But like Akuma in particular, like it can be rough. So I just wanted to put this out here for you guys to see it, so you guys understand like how strong his fireball is. I mean, it's not to say that other fireballs don't have the same kind of worth or value. Guile has very similar value, I would say. Especially when you break it down with the other part of his fireball, which would be Sonic Blade. But Akuma don't need Sonic Blade to be effective. So, alright, I'm gonna clear this. Hope you guys got something out of that. Let's continue. Because I also want you guys to pay attention to how Shuto's throwing fireballs. Good drive rush punish. All right, back in there. Right now, it's still 2-1. Shuto up 1. Bad parry. Got punish. Look at how much damage he got on the reversal DP. It's insane. Good whiff punish. Are we out of there? Parry. Boom. Dead. Boom. Boom. Sick. Let's go, Neff. Big Nephew.
One thing that's been absolutely stupendous from Nephew is most of his defensive choices have been working.
Shuto not really looking that worried, and it makes sense to not look that worried because, you know, even if he loses here, he still has another 3 games to go.
He just knows. He just knows.
Sometimes you got to be 10 steps ahead, Sherry, to understand. Keep calm. Keep collected.
All right, we here. 2-2. It's the last one. Already. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is what I mean about walking into the effective rate. Look at how fast he got to jury, dude. Like, what? Look at this. Watch. This is what I mean by getting walked down. Look at this, you guys. Shuto said, screw it. I'm moving up. I'm gonna sit right here, bro. What you want to do? What you want to do? I see you. I see you too, asshole. I'm not finna do nothing. We finna sit right here, dog. We're both in effective range. I know that. But who gonna press first? I ain't gonna press. Me neither. I guess we just gonna be sitting here. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it. So So I have to make fun during the analysis too, you know what I mean? Because it just goes to show the level of, like, how to say this, not just care, but the level of defense and offense both players have, and their willingness to just sit there and be like, nah, I'm not finna run into none of that nonsense. You know? The crazy part here is, if Nephew walks back, he could potentially get hit by crouch and medium kick from Akuma. That's the crazy part. You know? It's still possible. Alternatively, if Shuto does the exact same, he could get hit as well. This is literally the danger zone. Literally the danger zone. After this, I'm gonna go edit this and throw this up on YouTube. I want to try to get this up tonight. I don't care if it goes out late. I just want it to go up. I gotta stick to my daily. I'm trying to stick to the daily. I don't think anyone's gonna watch it when I put it out there immediately, but I just want it to be out before tomorrow morning. So it's gonna go out regardless. I'll promote it tomorrow, and then I'll do another video post tomorrow. I'll probably do both. But sometime this week sounds good though. This coming week, I'm down to run the mirror. But let me finish this up.
He wins this game. We're getting another first to three. Oh
gosh. So
Nephew press first.
Takes a perfect in this. He's taking. Okay, never mind.
That's a good neutral jump.
Don't worry, you're getting used to your job. Commentator's curse is part of the
Look
job.
at that. Every single wake-up option that Nephew has done has worked in his favor. Also sweep.
That sucks.
So far, he's really spaced that sweep.
Definitely something to be mindful of. Always check the ranges of your punishes. Unfortunately, Nephew goes for the crouch medium kick here and then gets swept right back. So obviously, if Neff did sweep as a punish, that would have been money. But gets punish counter sweep here, unfortunately.
I don't know if jury sweep would have been able to catch that, but we'll use it as a spacing trap for
Nice, okay.
Wake up jab, nice block on Nephew, but he burns himself out.
But
The shimmy!
grabbing hot air
I'm telling you, man, Nephew's stats, shimmy,
allows Nephew to take the advantage.
max stats.
Potentially reset.
It's really good shimmy there.
Shuto, this could
And I mean, just for the record, I do want to talk about it. Alright, so this is a good situation for him.
Wake up jab, nice block.
Alright, so he gets the hit here. We go for the confirm. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. Big Neff, boom, bam, boom, bam. Now he's out of stores. He got nothing left over here. My man's ain't got nothing here. Ain't no feng shui orbs right here whatsoever, right? Now, he has meter. He could have gone for the rest of the confirm in some kind of super, maybe. But then opts for the shimmy, goes in and out. Delayed reaction by Shuto. Nephew. That's a good ass shimmy. Ooh. Get him up out of there. That's how you maximize your damage output. Most would probably try to go for the throw in that situation, which does make sense, which is why he went for, you know, the throw tech. Because it made sense. Get a throw reset and then try to start up pressure. But Nephew said, I'm going to take that. I'll see you this throw attempt, and I'll add a shimmy to it, and I'll raise you and see how you react to that. And clearly, Neff came out on top. All right, here we go. He's on point to reset. Nice delayed throw.
Oh man, look at this. They're buffering and okay, no anti-air.
Again, just to point out the movements, because holy, that boy Shuto was moving. Look at, just look at, I gotta keep pointing it out, you guys. I know people be like, why you keep pausing on this stuff, dog? Just look at the intervals of the fuzzy walking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and into demon flip. Like, dog, you don't know. That's what makes fast walk speed characters so scary, you know? And then he does the down, the down jab and stand short. And here we go again with the fuzzy walks. Dude, I'm telling you, watching it in slow-mo is even scarier, dude. I'm not gonna lie. While I'm just counting the intervals and how he's fuzzy walking, now Nephew's taking bigger steps because, like I said before, it's Akuma, so you don't really have a choice. You kind of do have to take bigger steps. You can take some micro steps, but again, that might open you up to sweep or crouching medium kick. That's what can be a factor here. Now, instead of like advancing forward with a jump, obviously Shuto goes for a demon flip, which, you know, when looking at it in real time, looking at how he's moving, you know, it could have been a fireball, could have been a, you know, it could have been anything, could have been Ashura, anything, you know. But Neff has no kind of stores, so he doesn't have to worry about using like medium kick Tatsu to go over the fireball to hit him, because that is an option that Shotos do have against Juri's fireball. They can use their Tatsu to helicopter over the fireball and actually scores a knockdown. So, and in Akuma's case, he can read and do demon flip, you know, but Tatsu is more of a reaction. So
They're buffering, and okay, no anti-air coming from Nephew here. Tensions are high.
And there's another reversal that hits. These have been barely been blocked. There's the burnout, and he done it on his own accord. I respect it. Just
trying to fish for another shimmy.
a little bit of time.
He tried to go for the shimmy again, but Shuto was able to get the crouch strong into
Nice, good use for that forward heavy punch by Nephew.
He's making sure he doesn't stay still and make it obvious. So that drive gauge is ready to open for business.
That throw was ambitious.
Fireball.
Watch out for a jump. Watch out for the jump. He tried to jump, but that's a counter hit. Actually, he didn't even try that.
Okay,
All right, still in the corner.
nice blocks. Okay.
The pushback. Pushback on stand light kick is so good.
Perfect carry on the overhead.
Lets him create more space to be able to read more situations easier.
He's actually going to use
Yeah, he has to spend.
He should be going to a final round. Shuto wants to get this done and dusted in this first set.
Well, we are going down to the last.
All right, so this is what could potentially be the last round. So let me point out some positives here. Nephew right now is in a pretty decent position. He has a SA3 ready. When the round starts, no matter what he does, he'll have a Super R3 ready. So he's fully loaded. Unfortunately, on the other end, we just saw Shuto utilize Super, so he's got no meter here. That doesn't mean he can't get a level 1. At best, he gets a level 1. I don't think, barring how the neutral plays out, I don't think he'd be able to get a level 2 in time, because it just depends. As long as he could survive, he could potentially get it. But Neff is going to be fully locked and loaded for this round. So this is where things get a little bit more interesting.
Round in the last match, we're either going to get a reset or finally going to get a champion. But look at the bar coming from Nephew's end. He has 3 bars.
Crouch medium punch with punish. Big damage already. There we go. First throw.
Nothing there, and I think that was blocked.
Baited.
That was the most executive decision he's made in his life, and he still has an
There's the
option,
1
but I don't
meter.
think he should do it, and he didn't.
Oh, no.
Punished.
That's gonna be it, and ending it with a perfect KO. We saw it
And Shuto takes it.
last week, and Shuto now books his place to Cup via the Super Premiere in Singapore.
He did it. He did the
This
thing.
young man has taken it from strength to strength.
Oh, that's rough. That's a rough one. So I know a lot of people will probably watch this and see.
Round in the last
I do want to come back and revisit this for a second, despite, you know, what happened here, right?
The bar coming from Nephew's end. He has 3 bars.
I do think this is probably one of the most, maybe in some people's eyes, it's questionable, right?
And he does a patient
But,
wake-up option.
and I was just talking about this earlier today, about using, even though you're not at full frame advantage, but utilizing drive rush in order to put yourself in a position to where you can like bait like a super. So this is exactly what happened here.
Nothing there, and I think that
And he just blocks. And then Juri's wide open, and we all know what happens here. It's a lot of damage that happens here. You know, if Shuto had like a level 3 potential chance, he could have killed during barring this situation right here. How much life he has. CA would probably kill, but SA probably not. CA being critical art, SA being non-critical art, just a regular level 3. But man, it's unfortunate.
was the most executive decision he's made in his life, and he still has an option, but I don't think he should do it, and he didn't.
Oh, no.
that's
And then
gonna be
here
it.
was the rough part too as well, is that Shuto opted for a jab, a crouching jab afterwards, right from the cross up. All right, so I'm gonna slow it down. Boom. Right, go here, pow. All right, we're here. So there's the cross up attempt. We're already in the money. We're already from advantage, right? This is, you know, Neff's tournament life on the line. Lands and opts for a jab. And since it's a jab, this is so good against drive reversals for so many reasons. And I'm gonna label them out here if you didn't know, just in case, so you do know. You know, why was this crouch jab so important? Why was the jab so important? Well, maybe not this color. Hold on a second. I'm gonna remove this. This color is not very good. We'll use another color that's a little bit reasonable. Green? A darker green, perhaps? So dark green. Oh, that's even harder to see. And this stage is so bright, but black. Okay. Well, it's important because jabs bait drive reversals in strings. That's one. That's definitely one of them. Let's see here. This jab could have been a tick throw. That could have been an option. Right? Could have been a tick throw. That looks even better here. Yeah. Could have been a tick throw. Could have been so many other things, dude. So let's say base the drive reversal. Could have been a tick throw. You know, could have even just to put it out there, just could have just been a bait. Could have been a DP bait. That's another option. Could have drive rushed off of it. Even though it's not a real string, if you do jab, drive rush, jab. But if he was to do that, if he was to do the drive rush, I just want to show you guys the options. And I'm going to use this. So if he was to drive rush off of it, he'd have no meter. He'd have literally no meter. Which at that point would put him in burnout. And that's just, you know, just for what this white arrow's going to represent burnout, that would have been bad. And if Nephew was to drive reversal him, right, then this whole situation would have flipped on its head. And Shuto would have been back this way. Could have been back this way, back to the wall, and burnout. Not a good look. Leo's enjoying the commentary too. So yeah, this is such a tough sell, right? It's a really tough situation to be in, where Nephew is at this point in time. I know, like I said before, it's very easy to look at this and be like, man, I don't know why Nephew would level 3. I don't know why he would do. You have to give the players their credit, you know, in their decision making. Sometimes it's not the best decision, especially in hindsight, but like in the moment, there's no telling, you know, because if he was to score that level 3, then the situation would have been different. And I think it would have been safe to say with the Kuma's HP, we'll just use this arrow as kind of like a, actually, hold on. I won't even use this. Let me go back on that, and I'll use this instead. And then we'll say, it's safe to say that maybe Akuma would have lost maybe somewhere around maybe this much life, give or take, somewhere in this ballpark. And that's a lot of life to lose, honestly. A lot of HP to lose. And then given the HP that Neff had at the time, which I believe this is pretty much it, right? Like, this is still room to come back. Like, between both their life bars, still room to come back. On top of, let's say he was to get burned out, you know, this other part. If he got burned out, this would have been a favorable situation. because the drive gauge damage would have been there, amongst other things. But objectively speaking, given the situation, the level 3 made sense because he drive rushed at him. But it's just Nephew probably just didn't take into account, you know, whether or not he would have had the ability to just like deal with the situation, or he just wanted out. Of course, the other things, so many things could have been done here. You could have said, well, prior to the level 3 usage, Neff could have blocked, went for drive reversal, did wake up DP, block, jump, whatever. You can insert anything you want. Wake up DI. It wouldn't make a lick of difference, right? It's just what they chose in that moment, and that's the beauty part of fighting games, and sometimes that's one of the roughest part of fighting games, because like you do have to make choices, and it is difficult to always make the right choice given the situation. So, in all honesty, I don't blame him at all. If he was right, then that would have been huge. Just given the situation, unfortunately, he wasn't. But there was still room to come back. I think it's just you're in that situation, and it's like, dang, you just got crossed up. What do I do? You know, what do I do? Should I DP when he lands? Should I play defensive? Should I drive reversal? Okay, I should drive reversal, but where? You know, what if he was to drive reversal the cross up? Maybe he would have been in a better position. Maybe would have caught him before he went for the down jab. Maybe, but once that was landed and that first cross jab was initiated, unfortunately, this is too scary of a situation to be in, especially during a guess for game scenario. He's in throw kill range. He's in strike kill range. It's just scary, unfortunately. So, but can't be too upset. Neff played his heart out. He got second place. That's nothing to scoff at with how strong that competition was at this event, you know, all things considered. So if I swing it over here, boom. Yeah, you really can't be too upset. I mean, he did his thing. He definitely did his thing. So hopefully in due time, you know, we'll see probably a big win from him. Obviously, this is a big win for Shuto. You know, he's been playing Marissa all this time, and he's definitely proven why Kuma's good. A lot of people have been sleeping on this character, saying, and when I say sleeping, take it very lightly when I say this, as in like, people have been looking at Akuma like, oh, he's not stable, he's not this, he's not that. Well, I mean, I could play him, but I could pick Ryu, or I could pick Ken. Ken's more stable. The word stable tends to come into play, and yet somehow, some way, Shuto was in winners the entire way through the entire tournament. Up until roughly this point where it became like this score here where it was 2-2. So, I mean, gotta give credit where it's due. My man played his heart out, beat a lot of good people on both sides. Both players did really good. So, you know, big ups to both Nephew and Shuto for doing their thing. They're both good players, and it was fun doing this analysis. So if you learned something from this, great. You know, let me know in the comments. Talk to me. I'll definitely be doing more. This is just one of many. So I'm going to get up out of here, and I'll catch you on the next one. You already know what it is. Deuces, gooses.